I am sensing is it is an energy of somebody who is taking charge of their life, who is taking charge of their domain, who is a very good homekeeper, and she or he is very like type A, very driven and very focused as well. Okay, so I am actually hoping that this is an energy that is internal to you, and that a lot of you are more interested in taking a charge of your life. So we have the Judgment card next. This indicates to me a brand new beginning. Okay, so a bit beginning in work projects as indicated by the Wand's energy. It could also be a revival in your love life for those of you who are dating, a new dating relationship possibly coming in for those who are dating this fire energy. So let's see what the rest of the cards have to add. I have the Sun. Well, you have good cards here. Okay, so this is actually a very, very good card. I'm really glad to see this for you guys after that somewhat somber reading for May. So with the Judgment card next to the Sun, I do feel a lot of you are actually in a very good place right now. You're hopeful, at least. You have a new beginning coming in, as well as the card of success, okay? This is total abandonment of worries and anxiety, indicated by this next card as well. This is overcoming your mental troubles, overcoming physical ailments, recovering from surgeries for a lot of you who are going through it, or at least getting like a good diagnosis for those of you who are going through this. And because of the diagnosis, you are coming into a place where you know how to proceed with treatment and things like that. So it's kind of like coming into a place of total illumination in which you're really sure-footed about where you want to go and what you want to do for the next phase of your life, okay? So this is basically an important milestone. You're able to embark on a new venture that has a lot of potential for success, material success, prestige, and just overall a lot of getting a lot of accolades as well. So you have very high hopes for the future. You are optimistic for this month. And in general, I do see that it is linked to, I believe strongly, it is linked to the summer month, okay? You have the sun shining, so I do feel in general that a lot of you might suffer from seasonal depression now that the cold winter and that early spring energy is out of the way. We're approaching summer, so a lot of you might be overcoming like depression from the past too. It could also be postpartum depression related to a child. This is something that you are overcoming for this month once and for all, okay? The Hangman here does indicate a sense of sacrifice. So I do feel that if this is an internal energy to you, a lot of you have let go of old relationships, especially like old jobs, old people from your past in any type of it could be like a romance or a friendship, okay? So you're basically able to let go of people who were, I guess, who were a toxic drain on your life, on your energy, and because of it, you've had to make the sacrifice to kind of like cut them off. And in the process of doing that, you are coming into your own and you're approaching a very, very happy state at this point, okay? I'm actually really glad to see this for you because I know that the May reading was not the most positive, but the weekly reading last week even, the energy was starting to change. So a lot of you are turning your life around, and I do feel that new beginnings, new opportunities will roll in for you, and it is very important for you to I guess get going with this. And I do feel in the time of Cancer, so that's roughly from June 21st to like July 21st or so, depending on where you were born. This energy is going to solidify. Okay, so when the sun is in the constellation of a fellow water sign, a lot of this energy will cement for you, okay? Because like the Mercury retrograde that we are dealing with is going to continue until June 11th. So after June 11th, all that green light, everything is going to start to solidify, cement themselves, and then you can move forward in a more, even in this, you are sure-footed, but then when we are in that cycle of Cancer, a lot of the people around you, a lot of the energies that you're dealing with that is external to your environment will also I guess, start to move your way. Okay, so there's going to be a lot more momentum picking up for you this summer, and this is such a great card. It's a card of like just happiness, bliss, but it's also like perceived success, okay, optimism. And this is something a lot of you need in your life, okay, that sense of childlike wonder of the world, and total abandonment of and like leaving behind your anxieties and your worries, and coming from emerging from like a really dark tunnel and coming into the light. Okay, so I'm so happy to see this for you guys. So let's see what else we have here. This card. We have the Empress in the upright position. Okay. Another very good card. This is very positive reading. So I hope the last two, maintains the same consistent types of energy. So the Empress, whoa, the Empress underneath the Judgment card, there could be a new birth, a new beginning. I do feel that we have the Sun here, a childlike energy. So there might be good news for those of you who are going like fertility treatment, who are thinking about settling down, having children, having a family and things like that. Or for those of you who have been trying to get pregnant in the past, male or female, depending on your situation, I do feel that that's this is like the new beginning in childbirth in for Piscean women especially, reclaiming your domain, reclaiming your space. So the cards are all echoing the same types of energy. Okay, so then we have the Ace of Pentacles here, the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Pentacles is in the reverse position. So at this point, I do feel that if you are thinking about fertility treatment or something like that, it is going to be a little bit draining, okay? And at the same time, having like that new person in your life, possibly like the birth of a child, the birth of there's a child in your midst, I'm sensing, for a lot of you. So this is what's bringing about this new beginning, bring about change and a sense of optimism. But at the same time, child rearing is expensive, all those diapers and baby formulas, and just taking time off work too. So it is not surprising to see this card in the reverse position, because this deals with financial windfall. In the reverse position, for example, if you don't work, you're not going to be able to get this financial windfall. So on the financial front, things might be a little bit kind of stalled for this month. But at the same time, we have the Ace of Swords here. And the Ace of Swords is basically, it's underneath the Depression card, which is, this is overcoming depression in the reverse position. The Ace of Swords is seeing the truth of the matter, okay? And this is basically having a very objective way of looking at our situation. So, in the midst of any type of a situation in which you're dealing with other people, you're dealing with like external energies, there's always going to be like 2, 3, 4 points of view to every situation. With this card, I do feel that you're seeing the total picture. You're seeing the whole situation in its entirety, and you're coming to, I guess, like even a lot of you might have new insights into an old problem. Because of this insight, you're able to overcome a lot of anxiety, a lot of like mental, I would say like mental anguish, whatever has been plaguing you in the past. I do feel that you are able to overcome it, and you are going to be able to get to the heart of it, okay? So Mercury in retrograde as well is a very good time for people to show their true colors, for example. It's also a good time for secrets, long buried secrets, to finally come to light. And it's also a good time for people in general to show their true colors. So I do feel this is coming into the picture so that you can move forward and that you can have a more holistic view of your life. And at the same time, this is like a green light energy. So I mentioned for May, have a game plan. I do feel that, this is the card of having a game plan. This is drawing up the blueprint for the rest of your life and trying to implement it in the real world, okay? Financially, a lot of you might not have the resources in order to take on endeavors, in this field, but I do sense in general that you're in a good space right now, especially in a good mental space. And as a water sign, you kind of lose yourself. You're kind of amorphous and you kind of lose yourself and your sense of objectivity. But for this month, especially towards the last 2 weeks of June, you are going to have that sense of objectivity, sense of decisiveness. Okay, so this is a very, very good card to get. And it's basically, slicing through the BS in life and getting to the heart of the matter and figuring out the next step. Okay, so the blueprint is definitely drawn here. The next card we have is the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles is indicative of, learning a new craft, learning a new skill, starting a new project. I feel that at this point, based on the way the cards are laid out, I would say that a lot of you might also be returning to a past employment situation, or you are dealing with a threesome type of energy in a love environment or in a business environment. So for those of you who have been dealing with this in the past, and I would say it's definitely in the past because, this is in the past position here. So this is a situation that was troubling for quite some time. And once and for all, you're able to get through it, you're able to overcome it, and you see like the light at the end of that tunnel. You are realizing the roles that you play and other people play, and you basically know where you stand with other people, okay? It's not the greatest card to get in the reverse position, but if you are going back to a previous situation, like employment opportunity from the past, it looks favorable. At the same time, this is what we have here for the last card, and this is actually a good card to get in the reverse position, mainly because it's coming in on the heels of the Ace of Swords. So this is about, decisiveness. So for those of you who are encountering this energy in which someone has cheated you out of something that rightfully belongs to you, in which someone has held back secrets, or there was new information coming to light about a person that surprised you, that revealed their true character, you're going to use this sword of truth and basically, just slice them out of your life. I'm playing like hand puppets here almost. So it's actually a very, very good energy for scrapping things and people from your life that no longer serve you, that have, plagued you down in the past, that have created a very toxic environment in your midst. So this is actually a very good card to get reversed because now you know who those people are and you can take drastic actions against them. And, if anything, I do feel that the universe is on your side. You do have a lot of help. You do have divine intervention, okay? So if you look at this card, it is the card of angels. It is the card of spirits. This is like the day of reckoning, okay? And all these people that have been laid to rest are coming up here. So what I am sensing here, and this is not going to apply to everybody, but for last month, for those of you who have undergone like intensive, I guess, spiritual awakening, or who have like taken the time, to really pray and to formulate a game plan, the universe is on your side. The universe is sending messengers, okay? And they're going to be in the form of either other mortals that you're dealing with, or they are going to be in the form of spirits, is what I am sensing here. So they are going to provide you with advice on how and whom to cut out of your life, or whom to... It's sort of like being on trial. Judgment is a new beginning, but also, it's very similar to the Justice card. It's kind of like being on trial, and it's a very like karmic type of trial, okay? Because the rule of man does not apply in this context. I do feel that universal law is what is going to it's dishing out justice in a universal way, so that people who have been doing wrong in the past are going to be ousted, okay? So it's a very, very karmic type of energy that I am dealing with. The universe is definitely on your side. You're on the right track at this point. And for those of you too who have been either swindled from your work environment, in which you were promised a certain financial compensation for your services, it never came to fruition, and you're able to basically take them to court or even demand it of your employers or your supervisors in order to rectify the situation. And for those who are dealing with either a spouse who is stepping out of the relationship, a lot of information is coming into. I feel that, this is the reverse card. So I do feel that a lot of you might have inkling with this, about this situation, about this person, or this is something that happened in the past. You forgave them, you decide to, let's forgive and forget and move forward and see if we can salvage the relationship. And now you're realizing that, this relationship is salvageable, but at the same time, you're coming to the point where it's kind of like it's not really worth it. This person has really weighed me down. This person has been a karmic block on abundance in my life for quite some time, so I'm going to have to let them go. And it's a hard process, and I do feel a lot of you have spent, like especially like February and March, trying to figure out the situation, and you have so many reasons to just walk away and let this person deal with the situation on their own. But you felt really bad. You felt very compelled and like intertwined with this person. So the situation got messy, and you can't really make a quick, clean break from that person. So a lot of you felt like very stuck, okay? And the energy that is coming in for this month is that, it's okay. Sometimes things don't work out with other people. They could be the best people in the world, but when they're not the right one for you, they're going to drain you, okay, emotionally, physically, financially. When it's the wrong relationship, it's going to hit a brick wall, okay? So when you hit brick walls, try to work things out. And if you keep hitting brick walls like 2, 3, 4 times, it's not the right relationship for you. And a lot of you um, might have held on just to see if things have gotten better. And now it's kind of like, okay, I've done that. I need to really start taking care of myself. So in the process of like self-preservation, not in a selfish way, but it's just you in a positively kind of like balancing the karmic scale type of way in the bigger picture, you have no choice but to let this go, okay? And I strongly advise you that you are on the right track, okay? Because the universe will give us signs to indicate when we are off track or when we're on the right track, okay? And based on all this abundance coming in for you, I do feel it is going to usher in a new period in your life so that you can handle new relationships, new work projects, new finances, new birth of children, and etc. Things like that. I do feel that it's basically here making that sacrifice and severing that person from your life. It is going to be, it was a difficult decision, something you grappled with for quite a few months, I believe. But now you have no choice but to do it. And it's going to feel like a sacrifice, and it is going to take some time for you to heal, okay? The hangman is one of suspension as well, but it is going to serve your greater good. So you are on the right track in the process of doing this, okay? You are trying to preserve whatever you have left in your life and to proceed with it in your own way, which is something we are all allowed to do. So don't feel bad about it. You are on the right track, and you have to really live your life for yourself, because ultimately our higher selves really want what's best for us, okay? So don't be afraid. I feel like in general it is going to be fine. So I'm getting, reclaiming your energy. We have these very, very, very strong female energies here, and it can play out for men, male Piscean as well. But what I am seeing here is, this is the Empress is the ruler. She's the matriarch here, and this is also the card of the matriarch. So I am sensing here that there's a great deal of energy about fertility, about new birth, about like having children that are so for those of you who are like pregnant or who have just delivered a child, for women, or even for men who have just recently, your wife or your lovers or your spouse has recently delivered a child, I do feel that child is going to have a very strong presence in the world, okay? And what I'm sensing here is these are very, very competent, very strong, but also very loving women. So the children that you are going to have will exhibit the traits of these women. They don't have boundary issues. They are very strong-minded. They are very strong-hearted. Okay, so these are really beautiful cards for Pisces. I'm so happy you're getting these cards. So, and at the same time, there's a sense of like moral integrity. Okay, so the kids, they're very strong-willed. They are very, they have a high sense of integrity. So they will never compromise their value system for short-term gains, especially for, you know, short-term financial gains. So you are in a good place with this. And for those of you who are dealing with this situation, another way where this could this could play out is you might be in a shady work environment. Okay, in every way. You might be dealing with people who are very unscrupulous, who don't really have a moral compass. And in the past, they kind of try to get you to come in on the action because you are, you know, they try to entice you with this quick financial payout based on these unscrupulous acts. But for this month, you're going to rise above it. You are going to rise above it. You are going to maybe even take legal actions against them, or even take charge and, you know, just tell them that, you know, I don't want to associate with you because of what you're doing, for example. And even in the midst of this, you know, financial payout, you are preserving your sense of moral integrity, and you're not going to go along with it. So this is a really good energy. A lot of you are like standing firm in the face of adversity, okay, is what I'm sensing here. And this is something that we all have to do as people, but overall, it is going to it brings about very good karma when you're able to do that, okay? And I know it's not the easiest thing to do when we are faced with a lot of people who are out doing the right thing, and they make that like the new norm, you know, like it's kind of like doing bad things becomes the new norm because everyone's doing it. But in this situation, you don't compromise your own integrity to appease the crowd. You are very solid and firm in your own space, in your own domain. So you're not going to be, your resolve will not waver when you're dealing with this type of energy. So I'm really happy for you guys. For those of you who are in relationships, in general with a fire sign, it could be, you know, just fire sign like Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, but I'm getting like a Leo energy in this spread. So I do feel that person is going to be kind of like your guiding light, kind of like your spiritual angel is what I'm sensing with here. So it's kind of like divine intervention in the middle, and you have these two fiery energies, okay? And then at the heart of it, it's kind of like the person is giving you, the person, fire signs are a different element from you. It's like almost like the opposite element. So having the water energy innately, you are going to feel like somewhat receptive, but this person is channeling all that energy in order for you to get projects started, in order for you to achieve like leap and bounds in your life. Okay, so it's a very good person to have in your life for those of you who are dealing with a fire sign in any capacity. For those of you who are dealing with unscrupulous people in general, please try your best to maintain your center. Don't compromise your values and your integrity.